one, I decided to do something a little bit different. Me doing a big comic discussion about a certain graphic novel that I just read about 30, 45 minutes ago, and that is called Superman slashes the. Hello, everyone. I decided to do something a little bit different with me doing a little bit of face-to-face conversation with you guys, talking about a graphic novel that I just read about 45 minutes ago called Superman Smashes the Klan, written by Lin Wang. And the thing is about this, there's a little bit of history with this type of story, but the reason I picked this up was like currently I've been going through Sunstone, which is a book, yes, dealing with bondage and BDSM and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a love story between these two characters, Lisa and Ellie. By the way, I didn't buy the book because of sex. By the way, me who's body positive and sex positive, that's not the reason I bought it. The reason I bought it was I read Harleen, written by the same writer and artist. And I was like, that book is really, really good. What else this guy's done? Okay, I'll pick up Sunstone. I knew about the Rolling Stone. I knew about it, but it wasn't the main reason. And by the way, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's like I really enjoyed book one I'm only I'm only up to volume 3. I prefer book the first volume than the second volume. Just gonna say that. But because I was reading this all the time, I felt like now I'm up to like the final volume. I need to change the pace. So I bought 2 graphic novels. I'll say that last one to the end, but the other one was Superman Smashes the Klan, because I heard good things about it. I heard some really good things about it, and it was part of DC's graphic novels for young adults between the 8 and 12, as it said on the Amazon. This is only for $20, guys. It's only for $20. And by the way, this is a damn good read. Now, here's the thing. There's a little bit of history, a little bit of Superman history for you. This is based on, or not based on, but at least inspired by the Superman radio drama from 1946. One series, which is a 15-part series called Clan of the Flying Cross, which is literally Superman fighting the KKK. By the way, it is a clan with a C, not a K, because apparently it was trademark. Now these days, we don't give a shit. If you do give a shit, we start questioning your opinions, and we start questioning you. Like, why do you make that a big deal? Then maybe it should. All that. Anyway, and I was like, the thing is, because I'm hearing good things, but I was like, I might not be the demographic for this. But I finished reading it, and every time I was reading it, because the reason I'm reading Sunstone, I read the first volume of the IDW Ninja Turtles one, which is really fucking good. That's my Ninja Turtles, guys. That's my Ninja Turtles. Is I enjoy? I'm kind of enjoying the idea of like reading a chapter before you go to bed, and I'm like, well, and so each night, the last 3 nights, outside, now, I'm reading this, and I'm like, this is really well put together. This is really well done. Great character work, great setup. For Superman, it's like chef's fucking kiss with what they do, what Lee Wang does with Supes, because this is set in the 1940s, and this is a little bit like, you don't know, we're so used to Superman able to fly, heat vision, do this, do that, all kind of stuff. He wasn't like that. At the beginning, he was just basic Captain America with a cape. He's able, faster than a speeding bullet, super speed. Able to leap tall buildings to a single bound. He didn't fly, he jumped high. More powerful than a locomotive. His strength, and he's able. The man still bullets pointing. That whole thing. That was it. That's it, and that's the type of Superman we have, which is in a way kind of refreshing, going back to that very old school OG original Superman. Even with like the Fleischer, let me show you an image of. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Here we go. hold on a second, let me wiggle my mouse, is even having the 1950s anime show, the Fleischer serials, anime series, look with the red and the black and all that kind of stuff. And this, uh, what is it's really well put. It just feels very refreshing. Even the Fortress of Solitude is very refreshing. It's still a crystal place, but it's on the ocean, not in the Arctic. I was like, oh my god! It's like I'm like I like this just because it's slightly different. You know what I mean? But what the story is basically about is you got this brand new family called the Lees, and they're coming to Metropolis. They originally lived in Chinatown, but actually they're moving to Metropolis because Mr. Lee has a brand new job, and the kids are wandering around, exploring the new neighborhood, and because they're Chinese or well, they're Chinese, and the war just happened. There's a little bit of sexism. There's a little bit of racism going on. And when a game of baseball goes out of hand, and by this one other kid named Chuck, and Chuck tells what happened to his uncle, things go a little. That's when the KKK comes along, or the Clan of the Flying Cross, as they say in this book a lot. But clearly, we know who they are. And they go, and apparently his uncle is one of the main heads of the Metropolis version of the Clan of the Flying Cross. And they're having habit. They're doing the flying crossing stuff. They're doing get back, get where you come from, saying really horrible racist shit. Which is it's weird because I was kind of thinking, how am I going to tackle this? Because I can kind of quote certain things that happens in the book and understand what type of racism there is in this, but I don't want to say it. That's the thing, right? Like it's one thing of weird because it's in the book. You know what I mean? It's in the book, and also it's weirdly because I'm a person who doesn't read out. I'm a person that reads out loud. It's basically like I act out the scenes. It's like an audio drama when you have me reading a comic. So naturally I'm like da, 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 and here comes the racist, and it's clearly it's not the whole. No, it's no shit Sherlock kind of racism going on, but outside. But what you have here is a really well done, fleshed out thing of like, look, you can easily say racism is bad, and then Superman punches the Klan in the face and they call it a day. But it's so much fleshed out. Like the relationships between our main two characters, which is one of three main characters, Alberta and Tommy, who are these two kids. They're fleshed out of like their dynamic. Why they're like as brothers and sisters at the beginning, and they bond through the story. How they bond to each other. How do they care? How do they fit? How essentially their relationship bonds and their experience out through the story. And the more they help Superman. The Klan keeps annoying the Lees, and Superman comes in and saves the day. So they kind of it's kind of like a Batman and Robin type thing where it's like Superman is here, but the two, Tommy and Lou are kind of like Robin in a way. Mainly the sister, mainly Roberta, mainly her. She's kind of like the Lois Lane kind of, in a way, how this thing ends. It's and the weird thing is, it does a very typical like young adult thing, which is like, no, the kid is now teaming up with the adult thing, right? But I'm like, it is the 1940s. They did kind of like get 12-year-olds to be part of like a newspaper company, so it's not that hard of a spread to see like Jimmy Olsen being roughly the same age as our main two characters. But they're fleshed out with their relationship and all that. Chuck, who could easily be the bully who's like, I think the these people are horrible and all kind of stuff. Like, yeah, but he's first out. Like he doesn't believe what his uncle believes. He doesn't believe in all that kind of stuff. Yeah. He just like he doesn't believe there's one religion, one country, one race, one the waste war shit. He doesn't believe that, but he's kind of drawn into it. And at the beginning, he's like, I just want to see good in my uncle. I just want to see good in him. And so he's trying his very hardest, and he has to kind of let it go and be like, no, he is really linked into this hatred that he has. The villains, it's very easy to just make them, we're racist. Just make them say racist shit, and then we go, ooh, you're evil, we hate you. But it's the whole thing. Good people, but not good people. The good bad guys are the people who think they're doing the right thing. And that he believes that. And even to the very end, where he finds out the truth about the Klan, where it's all a business thing, they actually don't believe any of this, the people running this thing, they don't believe any of the things they're spelling out. It's all a money thing. It's all money. It's a good chance to get money. He's like, you're traitor. You're traitor. And it's the only death in this. There's only one death. And and also and if you're a little bit of a person like swearing is bad, like for like young adult readers, there's one hell. If you're that, there's one hell in this, and that, because he's so. But anyway, the uncle is so linked to it, him being the Grand Storbian, and that, and no, plus they do take the piss out of these guys. I mean, they do take the piss out of the villains. Like there's an opening, like the opening villain called the Atom Man, who clearly doesn't know that the war's over because he's like dressing up as a robot Nazi. He's like, and you have this thing with Lois Lane. He's like, hiya, how you going, Lois Lane? This is my associate. I'm a reporter for the Daily Planet. This is my associate Jimmy Olsen. And Jimmy Olsen goes, hiya. Now I have a few questions for you. You realize the war is over now, right? But also you realize we got Superman, right? So what's the point of you trying to terrorize us and all that? So yeah, but that again, so yeah, like they have this thing of like taking the piss out of the villains, and when it comes to the KK, when they take the piss out of the Klan, it's absolutely fantastic, because even there's even a point where the character, one of them is like, I think I'm in heaven, and then like the rabbi says, dude, your shoes on fire. It's like, oh, there's. Dear George, these type of people are in heaven too. And I'm just like, that's a good joke. It's actually really good pace. Like, these are, and it's a quick read. Even for something that's like 80, I didn't count the pages, but it's like 80 pages per, like, part, because this is a 3-part thing. It's 80 pages, this thing. And it's quite weird. And maybe if it was, like, the size of this would be like 40 pages, but per chapter. But this is a real quick read, smart, smooth, all that. Now, when it comes to Supes, well, our Man Steel, he's suffering from his own sense of identity, his own sense of racism, because he's alien, right? And the thing is, he doesn't want to be alien. He just wants to be a human who's able to do these despicable things, and him unable to, and so he's holding back. He's holding back from flying. He's holding back from heat vision. He's holding back from ice breath. He's holding all these powers back. He's holding them back, and what you got here is Superman doesn't want to be alien. He doesn't like it. Like, he's seeing visions of his Kryptonian parents, of Jor-El, and at the beginning, let me show you some images here. Let me try and find some images. Like, he's seeing, like, he even sees himself for a bit of like these alien. Like typical alien look, and then he slowly realized, oh, these are my actual parents. These are this. He's questioning if I am this, who am I still? Like essentially, it's like probably finding out someone you're adopted. You're thinking, well, who am I now? I thought I was this, but now I'm that. Or if you're a donor baby, it's like, well, I know half my parents, but who's the other part? Like for them, they feel a sense of abandonment, even though that's not the case. Maybe it's like someone, you know, giving someone's. Some people, I'm just taking the blood now. I'm, a different version of that. And that so he wants to just be himself. There was even we go back to night in Smallville in 1926, and 20 years earlier, where there's a situation where Clark did fly, Clark did have heat vision, to stealth some bullies, and a step man still where you got it's an act of God, Jonathan. It's young Clark needs the young Clark needs to have a exorcist. There's a demon inside of young Clark. There's a real demon in him. No, that's not worthy. He needs Jesus. He needs Jesus. The real there's a fear factor of him. And I'm just like, and to a point you're like, yeah, that probably would be it. In 1920s, you would want to hold it back a bit if you realize you could do all these incredible things, because the West as well, everybody's going to treat it as some kind of demon thing. And even if you find out I'm from the stars, even people will be like, you're a swastika, how dare you? Maybe because they feel like they're getting lied to because you didn't know the entire truth about this one guy. And from the critical, because he didn't know himself. It's a different version of him finding out. It's kind of, it's kind of like No Way Home in a way, where you didn't have the Uncle Ben thing until the third movie. He didn't become Spider-Man as Peter didn't become as the Spider-Man that we know till the last I don't know 2 minutes or the last 5 minutes of the movie. And that's what you got here. Is Clark being Superman, but he doesn't know who he is. And I'm like, this is, and at the end he embraces it, and then he's full power. He's flying, he's having heat vision, and he's kryptonite. Kryptonite and him first exposure with kryptonite in this, and I'm like, I'm digging this absolutely. The art's well done. I mean, I'll show you the art a little bit, but if you're a person who's like, hey, my kids, like superheroes and they kind of like Superman and all kind of stuff, what would I recommend? I would recommend this. Now, if you're a little bit worried about it's, once again, it's simplifying the KKK, and it's set kids don't do drugs, it's kids don't be oasis. It's try show you here's one. You have this kind of style. I might also show you a picture of the Klan. I would say this: if you're worried about the racism stuff, elements of this, it has a real cartoony look that I think will be very captivating, and it's really beautifully done. It's by somebody who did it's by probably butchering the name. Jessistu? Oh jeez, I'm butchering the artist's name, but they done Avatar: The Last Airbender, so animated, doing animated cartoony anime kind of style type artwork, and it's really put it down. Now once again, if you're like a parent and you quite worried, even though it's the age bracket is meant to be 8 to 12, and it's meant to be aimed for once again young adults. If you're a little bit worried about the racism, I would say it's not horrible. The only, it's probably at the beginning. It's it's probably if you're the type of parent who will happy to, if you're the type of parent that's nothing's off limits, let's always have a conversation about this stuff. Yeah, this is fine. But if you're a little bit picky about I don't know, I don't think my kids should read stuff that has some racism in it. They basically get there's a part where I mean, the word that kind of gets used a lot, and I'm just using what it says in here, is that the characters get ascribed as ching chongs. That's kind of it. When they read dialogue. I mean, Chuck calls Tommy a yellow banana as well, and there's a few like, oh, here's apple pie, but don't it's apple, not dog. Like that's kind of the sense of it. Um, it's but here's the thing. This is a damn good read. Actually, honestly, I'll put this in stools because also there's a moral message. Don't be a fucking racist. Um, but yeah, this is a really well good read. I would recommend it in a heartbeat. Even if you're not a young adult like I am, I think it's a nice good read. Now for me, eh, I'm still on a break on Sunstone. For me, I now have to figure out why why this is getting turned into a movie. And when I'm hearing this is damn good. So maybe if this is successful and people want, I can talk. If when I finish reading this, would you guys like me to talk about this in full depth in like in 20-ish minutes or so? Would just to see, and this one is going to be more interesting because knowing there's a movie, there's now going to be a movie counterpart to this. So, and they announced The Wire a couple later today, all that. So that's kind of cool. Um, and that. So yeah, comment below what you think of Superman Classes the Klan. If you have read it, if you recommend it, if you have any questions about it, if you're a parent who's thinking, oh yeah, just comment below. I'm happy to answer your questions about maybe the content that's in this, knowing the subject matter that we're talking about. So yeah, comment below. Let me know your thoughts.